mask into a really tasty mango thing.
But
Sounds good, right?
yes.
It's a Business Pants Friday show here at July 31st Studios featuring analyst Hole Matt Moscardi. Yeah, whoa, woo.
Yeah, woo ha, hoo ha, hoo ha, hoo. I'm really.
Is it really conceited that when I say featuring you and I don't mention my own name, that do you think the assumption is that everyone knows my name, even though I know no one knows my name? Or do you think it's just like annoyingly humble that I don't announce who I am? Which is it?
That's a funny question because I would have said the assumption is that no one cares about you. And don't need your name.
They clearly don't care about you either, though. But
No,
so
they
why do I
definitely
say
don't
your
care
name?
about me. Well, because I'm the other person here. It'd be weird to be like, I'm here with that guy, and let's go.
Yeah, but how come I don't say who I am?
Yeah, maybe you should. Your mom thinks you should.
On today's weekly wrap-up, kicking the Cracker Barrel can down the road,
Ooh.
war profiteering with immunity, and lots of dumb apologies.
I was not a fan of the apologies. I'm not a fan of anything right now.
Our show today is being sponsored by FreeFlow Analytics. And
I'm a fan of that.
FreeFlowAnalytics.com.
I lied.
Board power, connection, performance, and
Fan
strength.
of that. I heard that an email is going out. If you were on the original FreeFlow Analytics platform, an email is supposedly going out today for the beta
Oh, really?
for everybody who was on the original platform. Everyone.
I think they're going to be surprised at how incredible the new platform is.
I think they're going to ignore the email, is really what I think.
Yeah, rightfully so, because I ignore emails. Story of the week. Want to get into it?
Yeah, let's do this.
I think I cut you off. You were annoyed by something?
I'm annoyed by everything.
Okay, forget it then. We don't need
Let's
details.
just do this.
In no particular order, once again, Cracker Barrel CEO is out after MAGA backlash to Uncle Herschel logo change. I don't know if any of that's true, by the way, because
It's been like 8 months since the MAGA
it's been
backlash.
a while, right? And the stock price has completely rebounded since that. And let's not forget that Julie Massino took over something that was already failing. But that's beside the point. That's the headline. Or maybe it is the point. I don't know. Let's talk about it. So Julie Massino takes over. Their core customer base is shrinking because it's
shrinking because they're
well
so
because
old.
it's yeah exactly. Actually, that's exactly
They're
right.
dying. They're literally
It's-
dying.
Their two main customer bases were older generations and rural highway travelers.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I mean, you used to do road trips, right? Before you had a life. I used to do a lot of road trips. I mean, yeah, it used to be fun to like stop at the most disgusting place and have a meal. But I think
And that was
people-
Cracker Barrel is what you're saying.
yeah, like in the 90s, that was fun. But then people learned, oh, wait, like we can expect a restaurant to serve like actually good food because, right, we're spending money for it. And so times have changed is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's not kitschy anymore to go to a really disgusting place. It's not cool.
People actually want to eat good food. Yeah.
Especially since it costs like $90. But anyway, and then she took over with the kitchen tech, supply chains, the digital ordering. It was all a nightmare. It all sucked because it was an old dusty
Who's
place with
using
Uncle
that? Going to
Herschel.
Cracker, yeah,
right?
Uncle. See, look, the thing about the branding backlash is Uncle Herschel being on the sign makes me think it's only for old white guys. Like literally, that's so.
And it's impossible they cared when they saw the new logo. Impossible.
No one could have
No one
cared at all
notices
until it was a
logos.
make-believe echo
Unless
chamber.
it turned into a
Well, we
pride
covered-
flag or a Nazi symbol, no one cares.
Didn't we cover that like 80% of the backlash was Twitter bots, like Russian Twitter bots at the time?
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking at a lot of like Fox Business articles, and they are so good at like the fake populism. So they at the very top of their reporting, they put up videos of like, and I know, look, I'm not judging here, but they pick very overweight, slow talking white customers who complain about the logo, but it clearly feels forced. You know what I mean? Like it's.
They
And this
don't
is not
show,
a reason. This is not a reason to make huge corporate changes. By the way,
They don't show the preceding question, which is like the logo change is really horrible, isn't it?
yeah, it's a part of a woke takeover by Joe Biden, right?
Right?
And they also had some great fake populism surrounding her severance pay. Now, she got a very normal severance pay package. I mean, she had been there for 3 years. She got pushed out. I can't. I don't think anyone's
Along with Gilbert Davila, the board member.
Yeah,
for being
I
too
don't know
woke.
that anyone's suggesting that she screwed anything up because the board approved the logo change, the company anyway. But Fox had to jump on it with a headline saying Cracker Barrel to pay for outgoing CEO's security, comma $4.6 million severance after failed rebrand. Now, I don't really know what they're doing there. They're suggesting that she's not worthy of the security. Now, first of all, if MAGA's angry at you, that's a gun owning group.
Sure.
I would think she'd need security. A female CEO gets blamed for a
But the
DEI move.
Wait, the
She might need
severance
security.
wasn't all security.
Okay. Here's the thing. I looked into the filings. I looked into the severance agreement. I looked into past proxy statements. This woman has never received security money, and all it says in the filing is like if she needs it, the board is willing to pay for it as they would for anyone. So Fox, you're
If you're
Max
pissed about
Fox.
security costs, how about every tech bro who's literally spending $20+ million a year on security? Not Julia Massino. Look, the people who might be angry at her, they're in walkers. Like,
And they
how
don't know who
fast
she
does
is.
How fast does she have to go to get
And
away?
they couldn't name her. They're just mad at probably Kamala Harris or somebody. Or who knows? Malcolm X, maybe they're mad at. Okay, so let's talk about the new CEO, David Deno. And this kind of there was actually a article in the Wall Street Journal with the headline "From Cracker Barrel to Boeing, companies are turning to retired CEOs." So I guess the new trend is bringing back in old white men.
Well,
Like
thank
they're
God.
trending older, they're trending whiter. I mean, I guess they're always white. And they're
trending
into
whiter than current.
and they're in to do those very like grandfatherly things that everybody hates, which is like cut costs, restore investor confidence, like do all that like country club handshaking and maybe like they call it austerity, right? In politics, like in governments, when the right wing takes over, they cut social programs. That's kind of what Dave Deno represents, right?
Yeah.
And let me just tell you about Dave Deno, because this is a fabulous list of disgusting things. And I don't know how this is going to solve Cracker Barrel. This is why I call it kicking the can down the road, because they're clearly not trying to solve for anything. This is where he comes from. Burger King, Pizza Hut, Yum Brands, Quiznos, Bloomin' Brands, Outback Steakhouse, Panera Brands, Krispy Kreme. I mean, this guy just represents gross American food. And that is basically the problem Cracker Barrel was having, was that they hadn't changed their menu, and it was just old people and people like driving 500 miles to get like diabetes medicine. Like that was their customers, right? So how is this? What is this doing? I don't know. What are you doing? What is this?
Look, I think it's important that they have a guy with a long run at Pizza Hut running. Like,
Pizza Hut.
Like, isn't Pizza Hut a failed enterprise by
Yeah,
itself?
it was fun in the 90s,
Yeah.
80s maybe.
And I remember all the times I went to Bonefish Grill.
Yeah, I never heard of that. Or I've never heard of Carrabba's Italian Grill either. Why? Do Italians do a lot of grilling? I don't associate that with Italians.
You go to Sicily, you might grill some fish, but
Okay,
yeah,
but you can go anywhere and grill
an
fish.
octopus. Yeah, sure.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Anyway, that's the Cracker Barrel story. Yeah, you got anything you want to add here?
Look, I don't think there's any.
Dopey.
This is
Dopey.
so dumb. This is so. I don't understand. So this actually precipitated on the proxy countdown, which we're going to record later today. Will be released today also. Precipitated us working on the idea of CEO hot seats, because at this point, I wouldn't have thought Julia Massino would step down. Like I would, or get pushed out. Like it's 8 or 9 months after the original backlash. The backlash was mostly make believe. The stock has rebounded since the backlash to the point where it was failing prior to the backlash, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure.
And if anything, she actually brought renewed attention to a company that needed attention. I mean, they say
Look, if
all
she,
press is good press. I mean,
yeah, if she had said we're
it
not changing the
reinvigorated the
logo,
fan base.
I wish she'd said we're not changing the logo back. F you, because I would have gone to a Cracker Barrel
No, you
just
wouldn't
for
have.
that.
That's not.
Oh, I would have walked in.
You would have walked by.
I would have smelled it on the way by it.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with you
I
that
think
she
this whole
wouldn't
thing's
have
dumb.
been still on the hot seat. But I think you're right. We would have expected her to be the change to be within 3 months. But I love this idea because, and forgive me if I get too like nerdy or talk about sports if no one cares about it. But fantasy sports websites have always had this great thing. Maybe they do it in other sports, but in baseball in particular, the closers, who are the pitchers who come in at the end of the game to try to win the game, they have these closer hot seat lists, and it kind of tells you like who's in trouble. And I think that I don't. This doesn't exist for CEOs, and we should create it, and it should happen here. And I think
So
it's
we
awesome.
did. We'll
we
talk
did
about
already.
it. We
All right.
did.
Good.
We'll talk about it on Proxy
All right.
Countdown. But it's worth pointing out that David Deno's board track record that we have in the free float database, he batted 400 on TSR, which is like
About what you'd expect.
nicely below average. Like
Yeah, right? But that's
comfortably
Cracker
below
Barrel.
average. So
Actually,
good.
that might be good for Cracker Barrel. I don't know. Second story of the week. I included this just because we don't talk about the war enough, or wars, or the war in Iran. It just kind of gets brushed under the rug. But I just wanted to remind people about a few headlines that came out this morning, I think. Exxon and Chevron profits surge on rising oil prices due to Iran war. Chevron posted its highest profit in 6 years. At the same time, big oil is busy fighting back against climate lawsuits, and really what they're trying to push for now is just total immunity. So they're profiting from the war in Iran. There are 40 pending cases coming against them because let's not forget that it is known that companies like ExxonMobil knew about the dangers of global warming way back even when Pizza Hut was popular in the 1970s.
Wow.
So they're trying to sue, being like, you knew about this. So the Trump administration, the Republicans, like the Ken Paxtons of the world, they're trying to not only prevent these lawsuits from going through, but they're actually trying to give them total immunity from all this. So this is like, these are the things going on in big oil. I just want people to know.
Yeah, I've never actually seen as much discussion of immunity from stuff as in the last 2 years. I feel like the Republican Party has rebranded itself the party of immunity from stuff. It's like,
which makes sense, right? I mean, they already have the Supreme Court to basically grant them eventual immunity from things. But yeah, why not just have immunity
make
from
everyone-
everything?
Can everybody be immune to everything? Like,
Well,
that would,
Republicans can.
oh, okay. I don't know why. I mean, like this in the midst of, the fact that Spain and France are literally burning into, the Mediterranean, and Greece, the Greek islands are on fire now too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're on fire, and apparently it's going to be like 112 degrees for like the next week, and so everything else is going to catch fire.
How about the hypocrisy? It was this month that Trump was yelling at Canada for its fires, saying that we're gonna punish you for this. We're gonna fine you.
We're gonna tariff you because stuff caught
But
fire. in Canada.
Exxon is gonna get immunity. I mean, I know I shouldn't get into like, oh, they're being hypocritical. What a surprise!
Shock.
But I just don't want. I just thought it was important to continue to highlight the grossness going on in big oil. I mean, record profits just because of the war. I mean, anyway, that's the second story of the week. Third story, one you're definitely not going to like. So if you want to tune out, it's fine.
I'm just gonna go for a walk.
Sam Altman announces that the singularity has arrived. For those of you who don't know what that means, the singularity is defined as a hypothetical future point, which I guess is now, when technological growth becomes autonomous, uncontrollable, and irreversible, fundamentally transforming human civilization. Now, we all know this is kind of happening, whether we've reached the singularity, whether it's a real thing or not, I don't know. But here are the quotes from Sam. We are now like in the singularity.
Like, dude,
And this, if this doesn't highlight our point that these are a bunch of bratty, underdeveloped middle school bros. Listen to this next quote. This is from Sam Altman. Now, I got kicked out. I gotta re-sign into my stupid script. Here we go. Google's listening.
There's nobody listening. Nobody cares what we have to say. As if we needed
wait.
more evidence that these are man babies.
Now, here's what he says. Now we are actually in the moment that we used to talk about at the lunch table in a very not serious way. I mean, he's talking about cafeteria, right?
Yeah, because that was the last time.
What's a lunch? What is a lunch table? He's talking about middle school. That's the last time we referred to a lunch table, right?
That's the last time he actually had friends.
Yeah,
and,
he said
grew up.
He said, I've been waiting for this my whole life, and I think it's going to be incredible, hugely positive, awesome for the world. Now, let's go on, and I'm gonna quickly go through the other headlines that are going on just this week. Sam Altman says one of the biggest fears is that a small number of companies will control AI. He says that'd be very, very bad. And look, that's what's happening.
Very. He's got a double very.
But that's what's happening right now, Sam. Sam Altman says the Hugging Face hack is a reminder that an AI power monopoly could lead to a long-term disaster. Now, we have an AI power monopoly right now, Sam, led by you.
Yeah, we have that.
OpenAI says its rogue AI tried to hack other companies, not just Hugging Face.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg is urging the U.S., and don't forget, the world now considers Donald Trump and Mark Zuckerberg to basically be the BFFs of all BFFs. Mark Zuckerberg is urging the U.S. to accelerate AI development, not restrict it. Elon Musk says no way to stop it. Warns humans will lose control of AI and face extinction by 2036. I'm gonna go. I don't want to focus on that one. Microsoft. How about this one? Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella warns that companies embracing AI could drive themselves out of business. Now, let's not forget that. So that's going to only help the monopoly at the top. So Sam, I guess, is going to be happy and sad that he doesn't want the monopoly, but he's benefiting off the monopoly every day. AI hackers are getting faster. The government may not be ready. Anthropic says its Claude models gained unauthorized access to other organizations' systems. Anthropic says its models went rogue and hacked 3 companies. And then the last one, Musk is warning that this is going to happen frequently. The rogue AI threat is just going to keep getting worse. So there you go. That's all happening just in the last couple of days.
Look,
Singularity.
The funny part is
he was so excited about it. It's here, Sam.
Out of all that morass of discussion, like we have been talking for 2 years that this is the end, right? Like this is
I don't
people are getting dumber.
Well, that's happening.
These systems are going to effectively end up killing humans. I don't know.
These are the same people, but Matt, these people that I've just mentioned are the ones also warning. They're warning about cognitive decline.
Of course, they're
keeping their kids from using it.
They're wiping their tears with their money.
They're warning. They're warning about the tech monopolies are going to ruin the planet as there are only tech monopolies.
They are the tech. I get it.
No, you get it. How?
That's part of the hypocrisy. That's like China.
But this is a hypocrisy we've never witnessed before.
Well, we've never witnessed consolidated hypocrisy at this scale. But you didn't
have like your Rockefellers and your Carnegies and whoever back in the day. You didn't have them having monopolies, raking in billions, and warning the general population about that you need to break us up. That never happened.
No, well, no.
Right?
Well, now they're smarter than that because they know that if they just rake in the billions, then someone will come and take the billions. So now they have
maybe
to
just
say,
come and take it now. Yeah, but but don't forget they all pledged to we'll give it away. I mean, don't worry about it.
I mean, sure we will, of course. But the thing that actually is my favorite part, if there's a favorite part to have, is that it, like, after the Hugging Face disclosure, Anthropic was like, "Oh, this marketing is too good. Can we hack someone else's systems and then
Do you
talk
think
about
they
it?"
purposely did it by mistake?
Honestly, how much of a coincidence is it that the news is now just like all of these companies are hacking other companies' files, going rogue? Because it looks so good when your AI can go rogue. You must have the best AI if it went rogue, don't you?
You're ready for the last headline of the week?
Am I? I don't know.
Just because I guess it's time to thank all the investors who keep approving Elon Musk's pay packages. And
Can we just
and
skip this?
Elon Musk commits up to $120 million to Republican midterm.
Of course it does.
So he's, despite
Didn't he say he
saying,
was going to stay out of politics?
yes, despite saying it was a quote unquote big mistake and he was done, and sales at Tesla had cratered as they should have. Now he's back at it. This is.
Yeah, but SpaceX shares are way down. Tesla shares are way down. Like, I think.
How about the American democracy that even allows this money to happen in the first place?
It's insane. $120 million, and that to him
for the
is
midterms,
nothing.
Nothing.
It's nothing. He's not even spent. He's going to spend like that's a security cost to him. Like it's nothing.
Go shame your neighbors, friends, and family members who still drive and buy Teslas. Just throw some
got
dirty
IPO
ketchup at them.
SpaceX stock.
Yeah, what do you got? Those are some great stories, huh?
Yeah, it's hard because
Just go.
The
for
Hugging
easy
Face
one.
thing happened last week, right? That was last week.
but the Singularity was announced this week, and Anthropic joining the fray was announced this week.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not going to do Musk and his $120
No.
million to Republicans. That one's obvious.
Come on,
and
pick
we
the one I
never
want you
knew
to
it was
pick.
going to happen, and I don't think it's even a headline at this point. Cracker Barrel, I feel like I
Come
want to
on.
do because like that is
That's our sweet spot. That's our company.
and we don't talk about wars, but there's a reason we don't talk about wars because
Why? Because there's too many other wars.
if
Everything's
we
a
did,
war.
We'd just be a war correspondence unit. Like we're just spending all our time discussing wars. So it is going to be Singularity or Cracker Barrel. Those are my options.
What?
So
don't just
think
pick one.
just think of the scale of those two things. I'm talking about the death of humanity
Yes. Versus
or Cracker Barrel's new CEO.
Yeah. Well, to me, David Deno kind of represents the death of humanity. When you look at him and you look at the places he's worked at, I mean, what? Just the shit he is shoveling into people's mouths. Like, what is this guy up to?
You know what? I'm going to choose Cracker Barrel because
Yes, that's
this is
the
a
right
game that
choice.
nobody cares about anyway.
Yeah. No, but I think that's the right choice. That's who we are.
That's us, and you can read about your inevitable death somewhere else. All right, let's do some good lists.
I struggled to find
I have
something good.
one good list that
you
is
changed
legit
yours.
good
You
list.
changed
Yeah.
yours.
Well, I changed it. I changed it because I remembered there's a story that was really good.
Well, maybe you should go second because mine's not that great. I was just struggling. Gen Z women are having an entrepreneurship boom. So
That sounds good.
it sounds good, but when I really dug into it, I still felt a little bit depressed. But it says of women who started businesses in 2025, 47% of Gen Z women did it, compared with 30% the previous year. And millennials are at 43%. I mean, this is what we want. I mean, we want young women to be part of entrepreneurship. And then of black people starting new businesses, black women represent 69% of that number. So that's cool.
That's nice.
And then the
nice.
survey also found two other things I thought were interesting. That first of all, it's no surprise that by a more than 2-to-1 edge, the women starting businesses are mothers, whereas of course the men don't have families and don't care about nurturing or anything. They just don't care. The other thing is that and you'll like this. The survey also found that women business owners are less likely than men to depend on AI. So that might be that's another reason to support female entrepreneurship because they're not gonna they're not focusing on AI. I don't know. Is any of this good? I'm trying.
Look, part of the problem, actually, if I had my way,
Yeah.
all women entrepreneurs would only do AI because
Actually, that's true.
We
Good
really
point.
need to
Yeah,
fucking
no, I
get
hadn't
the men
I
out
hadn't
of
thought
it.
of that. Yeah.
Like, so ladies.
Well, notice in all of our AI stories, when all the companies we talk about, we don't ever. There's no women being
there's
mentioned
no
at all.
women. I
Yeah.
mean, there's never a woman.
No,
right?
never a woman. Yeah.
Unless it's Helen Toner getting thrown out of a boardroom.
Unless it's the women who warned us and tried to fire Sam Altman. They did fire him successfully, and then it all blew up in their face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless
I
it's
mean,
that.
they're going to be. We predicted a few years ago that they're when you look back in history, they're going to prove to have been like these important, almost heroes of something, but they'll be forgotten. Anyway, keep going.
They'll be heroes to us, the
us
two of
only.
us.
Yeah,
the two
go
of
ahead.
us. Here's my headline, and it will take a slight bit of explaining to get the implication of it. Delaware judge rules public benefit corporations exempt from maximizing value in sale.
Go ahead. Tell me what that means.
So there was a company, M Power Financing. They needed a bunch of money because they were losing money. They borrowed this money, which is convertible, and it basically sold the company. They gave up a controlling stake of the company at a discount. So shareholders actually sued the company, and they sued them alleging that the directors of M Power did not get the highest reasonable value for the stock for the change of control. They didn't maximize shareholder value. So they sued. It's a public benefit corporation. They sued them and said, you did not get maximum shareholder value. A Delaware judge ruled that public benefit corporation is not legally obligated to get the highest price for the stock because they have other fiduciary duties to other stakeholders.
Stakeholders rule.
So what's fascinating about this is not just that it's like, oh, cool. Well, there's like 7 public benefit corporations. I guess we kind of knew that anyway.
Are there that few?
There's very few.
Yeah.
But 2 of them are OpenAI's public, like the for-profit, and Anthropic. They're both public benefit corporations.
Which is odd. Anthropic, I might believe in. The OpenAI, but they're governed by. Wait, they have like 2 governing structures, right?
They have the nonprofit and now the public benefit corporation.
But the nonprofit is the one that ultimately decides everything, and they don't. But they don't owe anything to anyone. Is that how it works? It's the anyway. I don't really understand how.
We don't have to get into the corporate structure.
Yeah.
The idea is for sure Anthropic is a public benefit corporation.
Well, that's interesting.
And if they IPO as a public benefit corporation, it means that a shareholder can't sue Anthropic saying you didn't maximize our value, you didn't maximize our returns, because that's not the director's fiduciary duty. Their duty is to not just the returns, but other stakeholders.
Every company,
which means there is a legal binding requirement for a public benefit corporation. So if you wanted
let this
to
be a slippery slope.
If you wanted to change regulations such that Chevron and Exxon can't make record profit from war, you could force a regulation that said certain industries, certain companies of certain sizes, monopoly power companies or like consolidated industries, they must convert to public benefit corporations by law. You could do something crazy and just say, all right, Exxon.
Believe me, it's time. It's time to do something
now
crazy.
You're a public benefit corporation, Darren Woods.
Yeah.
And then every fucking climate lawsuit goes through because they have a legally binding requirement to like not just maximize return for themselves and shareholders, but also to stakeholders.
Well, it's no surprise that your Exxons, your Dell, which Michael Dell, best friends with Donald Trump. It's not 2 of the leading Dexit companies, right? They fled to Texas because of stuff like this, right? Yeah, I can only dream there's a world where stakeholders matter when there are extremely unpopular wars in Iran and the gas prices have gone up across the the country and the oil companies have record profits. So I can only dream that this could have some kind of a contagion effect. How
But
come there's never a slippery slope? You know, there's a Dexit thing, right? Like where it's a race to the bottom. How come there's never a race to the top? Why does that never exist?
That's not a thing.
Why?
no
Why is
race
that not a thing?
Because the race to the bottom is slippery and you just go
Yeah,
right
right,
down.
okay.
The race to the top you have to work at and climb.
Why do you have to work?
But
Why
look,
can't there be an escalator?
the coolest thing about this from our perspective was that this was specific to the directors of a public benefit
I like this
corporation.
one.
The
This is a great
lawsuit
one.
was against the directors for not
love this.
maximizing shareholder value, and this says the directors are insulated from that. That's not the director's duty. And the importance of that is those are human beings who you've elected to do a job. And when
Yes.
they do the job, which is maximizing beyond shareholder but stakeholder returns, you can't sue them for that. So, directors at public benefit corporations, you have a shit ton of power to tell the executives, no, you can't do that because you are legally insulated if you are a public benefit corporation. There's a lot of things you can do now. If
I
you're a
love
director,
this.
I'd go nuts.
I love this. I'm voting for that. Let's move on.
All right, let's go on.
Oh, now you're going to
Asshole.
bring us back down. I actually felt good about that. I actually like that.
Well, look,
I've been fighting for stakeholder rules forever. This is my
I'm going
dream.
to skip one because we basically read every headline. It's for the asshole I'm going to skip this week is Stop Us, which is the message.
The tech bros.
These tech bros who are constantly like the story that
We're
thought
running
was
out of
amazing.
control. Like, help us stop from murdering you.
The headline that you pulled that I thought was amazing was more than 1,200 AI workers across Anthropic, DeepMind, OpenAI, and Meta are asking for Washington's help building an AI slowdown plan.
Can't they just sabotage from within?
Just quit. Just if no one worked at these places,
You're right, but it's the same as like you want the women in control of AI. You don't want the people who care to leave the company. Then it'll all be sycophants.
I'm just saying, like the people who work at Facebook under Zuckerberg and hate their lives but
Yeah,
make
which is
$400,000
probably a lot
a
of
year,
people, yeah.
just fucking stop working there. If you think that AI needs to be slowed down, slow it down.
Or I have
You
a better
work
idea.
there.
Yeah, I have a better idea. Keep your job because life is expensive, especially out in the West Coast, and just start like sucking a lot. Just
Yeah,
like
suck
longer
hard.
lunches, make a lot of mistakes. Just start like a big collective sucking party. All right.
Look, but the other headlines, there's no way to stop it. Elon Musk said,
Just quit,
You know,
Sam. Quit, Elon.
it will happen frequently.
Delete it.
AI will beat human brains by 2032.
So just stop.
Like,
Stop
just
it.
stop. Just
So
stop
you
it.
stop it. You're actually
But
in control.
then-
You stop it.
At the same time, there's also don't stop us.
Don't stop
obviously,
us. Yeah.
because-
China.
Because Palantir CEO Alex Karp warns U.S. against Europe's AI regulation path. Like, don't regulate it. But
Yeah,
stop
and-
us from killing
yeah,
ourselves, but don't regulate it.
Stop us because we're about to destroy humanity. But the good news is that you're not gonna have to worry about. There'll be universal basic income. Everyone's gonna be rich. Life's gonna be amazing. But we're gonna destroy the earth.
We're
But
going to destroy everything, but
Yeah.
it will be amazing.
it'll be
as we
amazing.
destroy it.
Ugh,
For
all right.
probably us, but who knows if you. Elon Musk sued Minnesota over the law
saw
to
that.
ban Nudify apps
Yeah, I don't really get
like-
that one.
because I'm destroying you, but don't make a law to stop it. Like I may be corrupting and making society worse, but how dare you try to stop it?
Yeah.
And then committing 120 million to Republicans.
Well, that-
so we don't need to talk about these.
I like
This
that
is-
Elon is. I like that we're graduating above. The amount of lobbying going on by AI and big tech is just through the roof. Right, it's at record highs, and I love that Elon is like, lobbying is cool, but I'm just gonna start suing. I'm gonna be like Donnie Trump, and I'm just gonna start suing. Right? Why?
Everybody.
Why
Just sue 'em
lobby?
all.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy the election, and I'm gonna sue. Like that's the way to take over democracy. All right, what else do you have?
So we don't need to spend time on that. Then there's the other two. The first one is fake man apologies.
I know where this is. This is a good story.
This is coming. This is a
Full
return
circle
for us.
Yeah,
It's
this
a
is a
rerun for us.
throwback, callback.
Here's the headline. I'm sorry, but apologetic Alan Joyce tells his side of the Qantas story.
Yeah,
Now, just for listeners who don't know Qantas, right? Like
Probably
Qantas
most
is
of them.
the Australian airline. During the pandemic, Qantas basically fired a whole bunch of employees, something like 1,200 employees, without negotiating with like the labor unions,
Yeah.
and they just like
Which
let
is
them go.
important in other countries that aren't the U.S. Yeah.
They actually sold what they called ghost tickets, which is
Yeah.
they sold a whole bunch of tickets and then canceled all those flights,
Yeah.
and then didn't
Whoops.
refund them.
Yeah, oops.
And Alan Joyce, who was the CEO at the time, ended up getting thrown out. He got replaced by Vanessa Hudson, who is the current CEO,
who
whose
immediately
first
apologized.
act
Yeah.
as the CEO was to apologize for everything Qantas had ever done in its history.
Which Alan Joyce should have done, but yeah.
But Alan Joyce does
No.
man apologies.
He's a man baby,
So,
yeah.
so what he said, he's now going to book out, and he's doing a book tour.
Well, that's the thing. When I looked into it, I was like, oh wait, he has a book tour. Like,
Yeah,
this
he's
is what's
doing
happening?
a book tour. That's what he's doing.
Who's
The article
buying
says
that book, by the way. Yeah, go ahead.
the article says Joyce has expressed some regret.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Some regret. He said, quote, "So with the information we had at the time, I still don't think there was any other decision you could make."
Yeah, what he means is that, like, if he had known that we'd rebound from COVID, I wouldn't have
done those things, but we didn't know that.
How does that explain the not negotiating with workers and the ghost tickets?
How is that an apology? What are you apologizing for if you're
He's not.
basically saying
He's not.
you're saying I'm not apologizing at all?
No.
He also said, quote, "Hindsight is a great thing." Right? Like,
whatever
you all had the
cares.
benefit of hindsight, and
Yeah.
I was making decisions at the time. He said, quote, "I'm actually very, very proud of the fact that I'm not sitting here and apologizing for Qantas going bankrupt, something that many airlines around the
Oh, my
world
God.
did."
Yeah.
So really what he's saying, he said, and he goes on to say, quote, "I apologize for the angst that was generated for the customers, but the reality was we had 22 million bookings in the system, and the system wasn't designed to do an automatic refund." So
Yeah, but the system you were in control of.
so he basically is saying we took customer money, didn't give it back, and we fired people that we couldn't have and shouldn't have fired, but the system wasn't designed for it.
It's the
We didn't
system's
know,
fault.
and frankly, I saved shareholder money. What he's saying is,
Yeah.
I'm apologizing, but not really, because I fucked customers over and gave it to shareholders. I made sure shareholders were taken care of which he was one, right? Like his pay is built off shareholder value.
Yeah.
It's not built off customers getting flights.
And let's not forget that there's actually no proof that any of this prevented a bankruptcy. It's just his conjecture, right? He's just like he's playing games with the timeline of
I don't know
Qantas.
enough. I don't know enough about Qantas's financials, but we did a dive into the buybacks that were happening with the U.S. airlines at the time, and they very easily could have saved $10 for an eventual pandemic or some problem, but didn't.
I just know that we've had two CEOs now in the same show saying something was very, very. Like Sam Altman said that a few companies owning AI is very, very bad, and now he's saying that Alan Joyce is very, very proud of that the company didn't implode. I mean, when they say very, very, look away. It's trouble.
Look, I picked this one because this is like one in a long series of fake apologies that executives.
This is the worst.
But this is one of the worst, not because of the impact. Like the impact was much more narrow to Australia, which already most of the world doesn't care about. An airline, which most people don't take, and 8,000 customer tickets sold. People in the U.S. would shrug about that, but this is so fucking egregious in that he literally took their money and used it to fund saving shareholder value. He fired the employees to save the shareholder value. He did everything that he could anyone he could screw to save the company, he was happy to screw.
Well, this is like a callback to your public benefit corporation decision. Now, why I like this story is that we have a category here called apology tour. We tag. You can go to our new website. You can see everything we've tagged that has apologies in it. You can get them all together. This is like the all time for us because we hammered this company for letting Vanessa Hudson take over a very glass cliffy situation. Right, she was there to clean up, and she apologized for his mess. Now 3 years later, he's kind of fake apologize. The whole thing is a wonderful. It's just a wonderful story.
Well, it's a great bookend because she takes over, had to clean up the mess.
Yeah.
She was the one who had to deal with the employee
Everything.
lawsuits, deal with
anger.
the customers and the ghost tickets, deal
All
with
of
the
it.
regulators. She went in front of regulators, in
He
front of the
slipped away.
government. Like she got grilled and yelled at and screamed at. People hate her.
Yes.
She had and she is the one who said, I apologize for all of it. She didn't qualify it. She didn't say, but it was COVID. She just said,
but
we
it was
have to do
Alan.
better.
Yeah.
I apologize for all of it. Alan writes a fucking book and comes out and says, I'm really sorry. But you know what? We didn't lose any shareholder value, and I would have made all the same decisions, and I'm really proud of the things that we did. Basically, why don't you just say, fuck you, Alan? Why don't you just say, everyone can go fuck themselves? 'Cause
I'm guessing that
I'm rich, and it doesn't matter.
I'm just gonna guess. I don't have the answers here, but 100% of the proceeds of the book, which will be about like $40, will go directly to the customers and to Vanessa Hudson. All right, let's move on.
All right, let's move on. And the last one.
Yeah.
Ignoring a board.
This is one of your assholes of the week, ignoring a board.
Because
like
look,
OpenAI. We just talked about that.
I'm so tired. Look, nobody cares about who's on a board. And that makes me, if you don't care who's on a board, you're an asshole. And that means everybody. Like my mom, my cousin, everyone. Because the fact is, all right, here's the story. You know the company Hims and Hers?
I've heard of it. I don't really know what they do. Is it
They do,
underwear? What is it?
No, they do telehealth.
That's the
Is
same
basically
as
what they do.
underwear in my book, but yeah.
Here's their mission statement. Hims and Hers is the leading health and wellness platform on a mission to help the world feel great through the power of better health. Right? Okay, already,
Okay.
what is that? It's meaningless.
It's gobbledygook.
We believe how you feel in your body and mind transforms how you show up in life. I don't know what that means either.
Yeah.
That's why we're building a future where nothing stands in the way of harnessing this power. What power?
I don't know. What's the harness? I don't know. Harness?
Hims and Hers normalizes health and wellness challenges and innovates on their solutions to make feeling happy and healthy easy to achieve.
This is hurting me, by the way.
And this is copy pasted from their website. No two people are the same, so the company provides access to personalized care designed for results.
Well, what about identical twins? Aren't they genetically the same?
Good point. I didn't say that, but look, this is like one of those banal mission statements that no one reads, and when you do read it, it sounds like it was written by ChatGPT badly. And actually, if I were to guess what this company did, I would say I don't like.
It sounds like supplements.
Yeah,
like fish oil or something. Yeah.
Maybe. All right. But what they actually do is telehealth. And they fill prescriptions and they do health stuff.
Which to me is the worst possible thing.
It's mostly specifically like male specific health stuff, like hair loss and erectile dysfunction.
So stuff that's not important.
Female specific, stuff like, yeast infections.
Which is stuff that is important.
It basically is supposed to just, the uncomfortable health for men and women that they don't like to talk about, and they do telehealth versions and they make it accessible or whatever, right?
So instead of a full checkup now, you don't even have to go to the doctor's office. There could be other underlying issues, but they're just gonna do it over the computer, like the Zoom. This is where we've come to. That's terrible.
Yeah, we just zoom.
Terrible.
Yeah. Well, here is the Hims and Hers board.
Oh,
and I'm going to give you the board before I get to the headline.
All right, go ahead.
The CEO is Andrew Dudum.
I'm surprised it's a man.
Oh, yeah, it's shocking.
Well, it says him and hers, so I would think maybe it's a co-CEO, a woman and a man.
It's not. It's just a dude.
Okay.
He's a tech VC bro investor,
So I'm shocked.
and he describes himself as a serial entrepreneur. And his deep
Ugh.
health experience before he started Hims
Yeah.
and Hers was from starting the company
Another healthcare company,
Bungalow,
which is
an
a healthcare
Airbnb
company.
knockoff in the UK.
Wait, it's not a healthcare company?
No, Homebound, which sounds like it could be a healthcare company in which you're stuck at home, so you need
Yeah, you need-
medical.
Yeah, care. Yeah.
It's a home building platform. It
Well, he is an
actually
MD though, right? He has some kind of a medical background.
Talk IQ, which was an AI voice
Terrible.
startup.
Sounds stupid.
And Terminal, which he said is something about scaling engineering. I
Well, this
don't
sounds
even know what that means.
ideal for a health and wellness platform. This sounds like a great
Everybody
background.
should get like their fucking alopecia checked by Andrew Dudham, who
Yeah.
did an Airbnb knockoff in the UK.
I
That's-
think he's just angry because as a kid, there were two insults you could throw at Andrew, at little Andy, which was a dud or dumb. So I think
yeah, you guys.
this
it
is
was
why
tough.
he needed. This is why he needed to become a billionaire. He was just angry.
I actually do. That's probably the truest thing about this story.
Yeah.
But how about these directors? There are not one, but two directors who work or worked at DoorDash.
That's a
Kofi
company
Amu
that
Gottfried.
nobody needs. That's bad for employees. That's destroying local restaurants. Yeah.
He was in marketing, and Christopher
Oh.
Payne, who was the COO, but also had stints at eBay, Microsoft, and Amazon.
Okay.
Other telehealth companies is what I'm saying. A lot of
Yeah.
telehealth there.
Yeah. Amazon is big into telehealth, right?
So here's the way they get into you thinking, because you don't read about who's on a board, who actually runs this company. Oh, we're covered because there's two pharma execs on the board. That's pharmaceuticals is like, isn't that telehealth? That's really great.
Sure, sort of. Yeah.
One of the pharma execs was a lawyer at the pharma company.
So she knows nothing about
She knows nothing about fucking health.
Yeah,
Like
or wellness.
she's the lawyer. The
Yeah.
other one has an econ degree and did a whole bunch of marketing. At
So knows
his.
nothing about health or wellness.
That one I couldn't tell. Maybe he knows something. He
Maybe.
definitely knows something about like supply chains and health, but
I don't know if
not-
maybe is good
telehealth.
enough. I don't know if maybe is good enough. Go ahead.
Then there's a guy from Netflix, a lady from Urban Outfitters, and one other lawyer who's just had a
Well,
law firm.
Netflix deals with like addiction, so maybe he's like an addictions like medicine specialist or something.
Last but not least is the one doctor. One
Really? Only
MD.
one? Yeah, okay.
One doctor. So when I read this headline,
Yeah.
US FTC sues Hims and Hers for sending user health info to Meta and Snap.
Oh god.
I thought, of course they fucking did.
Well, where's the cybersecurity expert on the board? Do they even have that?
No, not only do they not have that, but users' sensitive health information. Remember what this health information is. It's my
your
dick
everything.
hurts, my
Yeah.
vagina itches, my
Yeah,
hair
everything.
is falling out. It's
Yeah.
all the shit that you don't want anyone to know.
No,
It
right.
was shared with online advertising companies, including Meta and Snap.
Right. Well,
and
those
that's what the
companies,
FTC is saying.
They need to get rich though. Give them a break.
Hims and Hers also started charging users for prescriptions before they met with a healthcare provider.
I believe
what's-
that.
So customers did not receive a consultation with a provider. Instead, they just got charged for a prescription after filling out just an intake form. What the intake form is like, how tall are you? What's your weight? Are you on any drugs? And then it was like, let us fill your prescription for you.
Yeah.
Let's charge you for that prescription. And then we'll worry about you talking to a doctor, whether or not you actually need that prescription later. When
Let's
you're
not
done.
forget that this is a part of an industry in other similar industries that when a couple of years ago, when a young man killed a named executive officer in New York City, the first reaction was not of horror that this executive was murdered. The first reactions were A, he's really cute. and B, yeah, well, it's the healthcare industry, and like, of course, like, this is how bad it's gotten with healthcare in America. So, yeah, I mean, I believe, and that the federal government under Donald Trump is going after them. It must be serious, right? I mean, how is that even happening? Usually, they protect companies and CEOs.
Well, all I do know is that the asshole here
Yeah.
is like forget this the CEOs. The asshole here is if you as a consumer,
Oh, ignoring
you
boards.
as a buyer, you as an investor,
Yeah.
do not pay attention to who's fucking running these companies
Yeah.
for you. Because the CEO is the person who runs the company day to day. The board is the one who makes sure the company stays in the guardrails
Checks and
has a
balances.
future. They
Yeah.
are the check and balance to the
The
executive.
thing that we all love about when we talk about like American democracy, Declaration of Independence, all that Ben
It's
Franklin
literally
crap.
like the only part that people love, that there's
Is- right.
checks and balances, three arms
used
of
to
government.
love, used to love. All right, I like these 3 choices,
Well, I mean, one of them, I don't think the stop us, like that's a permanent.
but that's a good asshole of the
Situation.
week. I mean,
Oh yeah, it's a permanent situation though. Like Zuck's
the-
been doing that since with social media, saying someone needs to regulate us, but also don't because China. He's been doing that for 10 years.
ignoring boards, I love it. I love how you characterize that story as from the perspective of like shareholders and stakeholders, which is like pay attention, people. But just like we had to vote for Cracker Barrel in the story of the week. This weird like 3 year later pre-book tour apology after a Glasscliff female CEO apologized for his nonsense, and then it's like it's not even a real apology. It's like
Yeah, he didn't
like-
quite get there.
that's great. I love that. That's got to be asshole. I love that story. Asshole. Alan Joyce, thank you.
Congratulations, Alan Joyce. All right, let's wrap this up. Can we do headlines, winners, predictions? I'm not as tired after this asshole of the
Well,
week
you will be.
as I normally am.
Because you have to do another show soon. Yeah.
That's
Where
true.
are we? We're at Headliniest.
Headlines.
I'll go first because we're already talking about apologies. And I had actually mentioned Alan Joyce as one of my headlines of the week. But how about this other apology? CEO apologizes. Let me tell you who the CEO is first so you can get a picture of him.
Sure.
Him. San Francisco, this is how he's described, on the internet. San Francisco tech CEO, Jordan Zeitz. Which is already a good start, right? San Francisco tech CEO. I mean,
Yeah, I know. You're
probably a
built
great
to
guy.
hate him already. Yeah.
Co-founder of an early stage AI startup. So you're loving that, right?
Loving
early
everything.
stage AI startup called Lemon Lime. Great
Okay.
name, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that
citrus
tells you everything
always-
about the company, right? Lemon Lime. A Stanford grad, right? That's great. You love
Oh,
Stanford.
and he graduated though.
He actually graduated.
That's
And
something.
listen to this horrible mission statement of this company. This is the stuff that drives me crazy. Like, I can't believe our supposed brightest, our
This is what they
young
do.
bright minds are doing this. Lemon Lime. I can't get over how much I hate that name of that company. Lemon Lime, and the L in lime is capitalized. It's all one word.
One word. Lemon lime.
So stupid. Lemon lime. Well, how does the orange or kiwi, other like vitamin C rich fruits feel that they're not part of the title?
Honestly,
right?
I feel like every one of these
Mango.
companies needs to hire like 14-year-olds who are starting rock bands and ask them to name their companies. 'cause
Why
would
is
be
it
just
not
as
lemon
good.
lime orange? Like what is happening here? That's the real story. Lemon lime learns your business
Don't like
and
that.
then automates your team's busy work in a single click. No coding or manual setup required. This is what the dumb company does.
One click?
Yeah.
Can we reduce everything humanity does to one click?
How about this? But how about this arrogant prick, Jordan Zeitz, who is basically telling most of the world that your quote unquote busy work is not important. Like the functions you do and bring to an enterprise, they're stupid. They're not important.
Look,
None of what you do is important. We're just
you can
gonna
be pissed.
we're gonna replace it with a click.
You can be pissed, but I want Jordan Zeitz to give me a button that will have sex with my wife, do my taxes, and make breakfast for the children.
I'm sorry,
right?
but I've worked with
one
a lot
one
of
button.
I've worked with plenty of office workers who do work that Jordan Zeitz thinks is pointless. Office managers who work hard to make sure that the environment is positive. To replace it all with AI, I'm sorry, it angers me. Anyway, here's the headline: CEO. That's the CEO, by the way. That's what the headline missed. That's who the CEO is. CEO apologizes for offering interviews to people who got tattoos of his AI company logo.
Why did anyone get a tattoo of his?
Because as you know, the job market and the ability to even get an interview has become nearly impossible. Everyone's stressed out of their minds. So he's saying, hey, get a tattoo and we'll promise we're not going to give you the job, but we're going to offer to interview you. This is what this jerk wanted to do. But couldn't AI have solved for that? Why do they have to get permanently inked? Why can't AI have hit? Why can't they click a button and get an interview or something? Like, why are we doing this? Why are we getting tattoos?
Did you look at the logo?
No, actually, I didn't.
It looks like a citrus wedge with a little triangle cut out of it.
It'd be better if it said like, I already got the job, Mom. Like that should be the logo, right? So you're gonna get that stupid rip-off of a Sprite logo just so you
That's
can.
what it is, yeah.
So you can get interviewed at this dumb company.
So you will get something permanently etched on your body for a startup that will likely go out of business.
I was gonna say, congratulations. Now you have to work with me, the asshole who humiliated you into getting
before you even joined.
A tattoo.
Yeah.
Right. This is the victory. Okay. Anyway,
I've got two headlines.
Yeah.
Trump staff cuts blamed after watermarked OpenAI map mislabels Africa at AIDS conference.
Okay, but to be fair, does anyone in the Trump orbit know anything about Africa? Like, could they, even if they use an atlas, a Rand McNally atlas, they still wouldn't know where Africa was or understand any of the countries.
I just like that they blamed that there was less staff on the fact that they couldn't open Google Maps, right? Like you literally just had to look at the map because the picture is a picture of the continent of Africa with the countries outlined, and they pointed to the wrong countries with names. But they were like Nigeria, and they said it was South Africa. It was like dumb stuff.
They wouldn't know that though.
But I just love how fucking bonkers dumb that is.
It is bonkers dumb.
But I think the second headline is better anyway. It was Amazon received $600 million in tariff refunds and will pass some back to customers.
Do we know how much?
Of course, they didn't say. They had all sorts of excuses why they couldn't give it all back. Like some of this.
Yeah, I think Jeff is like he needs a powerful vacuum for one of his yachts, and those are expensive. Those good vacuum cleaners.
I just like the headline writer was like how do I make this sound good?
Yeah,
like
some.
with the word "some." I got to be accurate, but
what are we getting checks, or are they going to like discount like sticky notes 9 cents? Is that is that what we're going to get back?
You're going to get a credit to your account for sure 0.3 pennies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Those are my two headlines. Who's your winner?
We don't do winners, do we? The winner's clearly CEO apologized for offering interviews to people who got tattoos of his AI company logo, right?
Winner of the week.
Okay. Sorry. I'm losing my mind a little bit. This is a boring winner. You're going to hate me for this, but I'm going to say Kohl's, the department store, for getting some much-needed female influence on the board. The headline is Kohl's appoints Wendy Arlen as chair of the board. So Kohl's, of all companies, according to the Free Flow Analytics database, the new database, they only had 2 women on the board, Robin Mitchell and the aforementioned Wendy Arlen. They had a combined 8% influence.
Yeah.
John Schlifsky, who's been on the board for 15 years and had 27% influence, stepping down. So I'm going to say congratulations, Wendy Arlen, becoming a chair, a female chair of a company of this size in America it's a big accomplishment, and I think you deserve some respect.
Look, going from 1% influence to chair of the board, where you're probably more influential than anyone but the CEO, doesn't happen
for women.
So good. Right. Let's stick with boards. It's a lot of board talk.
All right, I like it.
My winner of the week is the phrase "not due to any disagreement with the company."
Yeah, I hate that.
So here's the headline: Anne Sweeney resigns from Netflix board. Okay, so no one reads these headlines. Like no one cares who Anne Sweeney is.
But I'm not the right case.
But I'm saying like regular people. These are all filings. This is an 8K filing. It comes out. It says Anne Sweeney's resigned from the Netflix board. Here's a quote: on July 26, 2026. Anne Sweeney notified Netflix, the company, that she was resigning from the board of directors of the company effective as of that date.
Mm-hmm.
And then it said, Ms. Sweeney's resignation is not due to any disagreement with the company.
Yeah, common boilerplate. Yeah.
So not only is that common boilerplate, I wanted to know how common. In fact, in the last 5 years, in 8Ks, the phrase "not due to any disagreement with the company" appeared 1,660 times.
Well, just that.
That
like,
specific
phrase, because I'm sure there
not
are variations.
permutations, Not no variations, no permutations, just that one
Yeah.
phrase. Now, I am not saying that, like, none were, due to disagreements with the company. Maybe some were, maybe none were. Like,
I'm
maybe,
sure
I
there
don't
are,
know.
I'm sure there are plenty of disagreements. Believe me.
In fact, the vast majority of them say nothing about the reasons why these people actually left.
Never.
Occasionally you see to pursue another job, pursue another career.
Or someone's sick, maybe.
Or personal reasons.
Personal
They'll never say
reasons,
sick.
right.
They might say personal reasons, right?
I'm depressed because I'm going through a big divorce or something.
But just for scale, in the last 5 years, the term "was due to a disagreement with the company" appeared 5 times.
Probably a typo. Probably just forgot the not.
No, it actually, the ones I read all of them, and they were like, so and so is resigning from the board effective immediately. Their resignation was due to a disagreement with the company over ability to access boards and
right. And sometimes
records.
they write a letter. There at Kohl's, actually, a director, she stepped down and wrote a letter. Yeah.
Yeah. So the winner here is not due to any disagreement with the company.
Yeah. How remarkable that these gigantic public corporations that basically rule our lives now. I think everyone's probably in agreement with that. We live in a corpocracy, right? And these people make obscene amounts of monies, and we don't know how to get rid of them. We can't fire them. We try to vote on them. No one seems to care. But even when they lose elections, they stay on the board. These are some of the biggest egos in the room, right? These are some of the most egotistical of all reports, narcissistic people, right? This is not just me talking. These are the reports and research out there. You're telling me that these people get into a confined room and talk about a company and they have no disagreements, and then they're not leaving because of power struggles or because their fabulous ideas weren't heard. You're telling me that none of that happened. Nothing.
I actually, for this one in particular, Netflix and Sweeney, this happens like 2 months after Jay Hoag, who was voted off of the board,
there you go,
brought back to the board, was made chair of the board.
Right.
Like Reed Hastings left and Jay Hoag was made chair, and Anne Sweeney's like, fuck this place, I'm out of here. Like, Anne Sweeney, I have no idea what, like, you can't really speculate because they don't tell you.
They don't tell you.
Wouldn't it be nice if she said, I didn't want Jay back in the first place, and now that Reed's gone and Jay's running this ship, I'm fucking out of here.
You know why?
Like, I would love that.
Because I'm sure 2 things. One, it's in her contract not to, right? And the other thing is that she wants 20 other board positions in the next 10 years, so she's never going to say a bad word about the system. She's going to keep quiet.
That's probably true, yeah.
Let's get out of here. What's left? Predictions?
Predictions. What do you got for predictions?
Qantas CEO Vanessa Hudson apologizes that it took former CEO Alan Joyce so long to apologize for something that she already apologized for, despite not being CEO when any of it happened.
Actually pretty good.
I think it's going to keep going.
I
like a yo-yo. I think it's going to keep going at Qantas.
Actually, so my prediction is that...
Right? Because Netflix eventually is going to make a movie out of Alan Joyce's book, right? He's going to have to apologize when that movie comes. All right, go ahead.
My prediction is that Damien, Hazelnut Rollis, our very own, resigns from Free Float due to a disagreement with the $0 he gets paid at Free Float. But Free Float puts out a statement saying it's not due to any salary reason related to the company.
Why do you have to depress me?
That's my prediction. That's all we got. That's your Hazelnut Rollis, Damien to his mother. I am your analyst, Matt Mascardi. This was Free Float, our Friday show. Come back next week when we have more shows. Next week is we'll do a week of shows, and then the week after that, we're off.
We are?
Nothing. We are.
You're off.
I'm
we
in
are?
Spain. Yeah.
Oh,
you can,
good.
You
Oh,
can do whatever
nice.
you want. I'm
Yeah.
in Spain. But until then, good.